Theology on tap. I love that we're in a bar talking about God. I just think there's something so right about enjoying, perfecting something good He gave us in, the goods of the earth and making them into alcohol and enjoying them together. So, okay, well, I've never given a talk before, so I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm up here with the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix. Anyway, so this is exciting for me. Anyway, I was invited here, of course, to talk to you about dynamic formation for total consecration to Jesus through Mary. And the work that I do with a website called MarianFaithNetwork.com. And with this website, under the direction of the community of St. John, and in particular, Father Nathan Conley, who many of you may know, who the retreats he helps with in the Cincinnati area and the Dayton area, in conjunction with him and a team of 7 people, we put together a website that helps people to make their consecration, to renew it every year, and also to live it. And so on our website, you will find video retreats, MP3 talks, things you can download and listen to. We have an online store that has materials that just help you go deeper. And we also have a new developing segment, I suppose, of our website where you can actually plug into an in-the-flesh community of people who want to be formed for total consecration. And so, it's with great pleasure that we do this. And we really feel like it's a unique work because the 7 of us with Father are trying to, quench the thirst of Christ in the modern world for souls through His Mother. And so these materials are really meant to go hand in hand with whatever preparation source you're using. So a lot of people are familiar with St. Louis de Montfort's preparation book, and there's a new one out called 33 Days to Morning Glory. Awesome formation there. But we really want to help people go deeper and use the tools of the 21st century, meaning video and the internet, to help people live that in their life. So that's the website. But I want to start really by saying that I think it's no mistake that God creates certain people at particular times in history together to help each other on the road to sanctity. And so for me, people that come to mind are St. Rosa of Lima and Martin de Porres, who are dear friends, St. John of the Cross and Teresa of Avila, myself and my husband. All these people just really help. He's smiling. Just really help people get to heaven together. So as I look back, I suppose, on my life, I really think that it was no mistake that in 1997, when I was a rascally teenager, kind of scrapping my way through life in high school like the rest of us, I was really becoming thirsty for the truth. And I realized that there was objective truth, and that God wasn't just this idea, but He was a person, and He loved me. And so in 97, when I was ready for that, a young teacher came to Dayton Catholic High School, and he, just loved the Virgin Mary with, I could say, ferocity, just real, authentic love. I mean, he talked about her in our class like he knew her and like she knew him, and that she wasn't just, a statue or this idea of a woman that gave birth to Christ all these years ago, but she was a real woman, and he was under her protection and guidance. And so we, critical and scrupulous teenagers, we just saw that in him, and we wanted it too. And so we asked him, what is it that you're doing? Why do you love Mary so much? How did you get to where you are? And he said, well, this is what I did. It's called, total consecration to Jesus from Mary. It would be a great place for you to start. And it's going to take you 33 days to prepare. And so being high schoolers, the idea of doing anything for 33 days really freaked us out. But we did it anyway because we trusted Him, and we knew that He was leading us to Jesus through Mary. So we picked a date. He said, you have to pick a date, a Marian feast that you're going to make your consecration on. And so we said, okay, it's the end of spring here, we're going to be leaving, and summer's going to happen. So May 13th was the day that we picked. It happens to be the feast of Our Lady of Fatima. I had no idea who she was or where Fatima was in the world, but it was the last day that was going to fit into our life as sophomores. And so we worked back from there. And he said that during these 33 days, we were going to have to be formed through prayer and meditation, and just really prepare to deepen our baptismal vows by giving ourselves to Christ, particularly through the hands of his mother. And so that's what we did. So we prepared all these days. He gave us formation. He met with us after school and gave us talks in the chapel, and we prayed, and that was awesome. And so a lot of transformation was happening. And on the day of our consecration, May 13th, 1998, we made a confession. We went to Holy Communion, and then we knelt down in this little chapel of William High School, which actually at that time was brand new, so everyone was really proud of it. And we made our prayer of consecration. We gave ourselves entirely to Jesus through the hands of his mother, and really just deepened our baptismal vows. And so for us, it was kind of a big deal because there were people there to watch us do this. We had no idea that was going to be the case. And we were given these little corsages by a woman who later on became a dear friend of mine. She's passed away now, but I'm just really grateful for her feminine touch and making this day really special for us. So anyway, some people do big things like that, other people don't, but to us as young women, it was really important. So anyway, the man who was a teacher at that time is now known as Father Nathan Cromley. And so I've just really stayed in communication with him and been really grateful for his friendship and formation for me and the young students that were there at that time. So fast forward to 2013, I'm 31, I have an awesome husband and 4 beautiful children. I work a business and advocate from home, and I work with Mary Faith Network. I'm also an oblate of the community of St. John, and my husband and I made our late oblature on May 13th, 2012. So Our Lady God was there the whole time. But enough about me. I really just want to answer tonight 5 main questions about what this consecration is all about. So I'm going to answer, or try to answer, I guess would be more accurate. What is the consecration? Why would someone make it? How do you make it? Why do you renew it? And then how do I live it in my life? And these are topics that we address on our website and try to help people work through. Okay, so first of all, what is a consecration? Well, it is exactly what it says it is. It's a total consecration of yourself to Jesus through his mother. And it's nothing more. It's you're setting yourself aside, particularly for his use, to be at his disposal through the hands of his mother. And why make it? I'm really just going to go to the source here. The source being St. Louis de Montfort, who lived in the late 1600s, and he wrote this book, my 1970s color edition, True Devotion to the Blessed Virgin. It's faded and beat up, but anyway, St. Louis de Montfort says about why we can make the consecration. He says that it was through the Blessed Virgin Mary that Jesus Christ came into the world, and it was also through her that he must reign in the world. And he also says, and this is a little bit lengthy, but I think it's worth saying, St. Louis de Montfort wrote, since Mary is the sure means, the direct and immaculate way to Jesus and the perfect guide to him, it is through her that souls who are to shine forth in sanctity must find him. He who finds Mary finds life. That is, Jesus Christ, who is the way, the truth, and the life. But no one can find Mary who does not look for her. No one can look for her who does not know her, for no one seeks or desires something unknown. Mary, then, must be better known than ever for the deeper understanding and the greater glory of the Blessed Trinity. In these latter times, Mary must shine forth more than ever in mercy, power, and grace. In mercy, to bring back and welcome lovingly the poor sinners and wanderers who are to be converted and return to the Catholic Church. In power, to combat the enemies of God who will rise up menacingly to seduce and crush by promises and threats all those who oppose them. And finally, she must shine forth in grace to inspire and support the valiant soldiers and loyal servants of Jesus Christ who are fighting for his cause. And so, I will not add to St. Louis de Montfort, but I think Anne's going to come up afterward and speak a little bit more on how that's so important for these modern times. But also, why make it? The phrase, Ecce Mater Tua, in other words, Christ spoke from the cross to St. John, speak particularly to me as an oblate of the community of St. John, where Jesus says, behold your mother. And so, I kind of take his word seriously, and I'm going to accept her as my mother and ask her to lead me to him. So the consecration just helps us to perfect that. And so how do you make it? As I mentioned earlier, It's a 33-day preparation period, and it's broken into 4 parts. So what you want to do is get your hands on a copy of a book similar to this, and in the front there is like a little chart. It shows you a Marian feast day, and then it counts 33 days backward. So you pick that day to start. I think April 28th is the next day that one could start to prepare to make a total consecration. Okay. May 31st being the day of consecration, the feast of the visitation. And so you'll pick these 33 days, and during them, you'll do, the first stage, you're really just trying to rid yourself of the spirit of the world. And so through reading selections from the Imitation of Christ, or St. Louis de Montfort, or from Holy Scripture, and they're all kind of picked out for you and printed nicely in this book, you're just going to, purify yourself of the spirit of the world. And then also you're going to deepen knowledge of yourself, of Mary, and of Christ during those next 3 weeks. And so after you prepare to make it, you're going to, on that last day that you choose, there are different ceremonies laid out. You can look at our website for some ideas, or I guess just Google search. But you'll sometimes go to Mass, make confession, and then you pray the prayer of consecration. You can do this on your own, or you can do it with a group of people. And we like to promote people doing it together because of that awesome sense of community in church. So I'm looking here. It's recommended that if you don't, the prayer of consecration is really long, but St. Louis de Montfort recommends writing it out in your own hand, which I think is really human and awesome. Or you can just read it and then sign it at the bottom. So I'm looking here at Erica Lynn Marie Berg signed this on May 13th, 1998. Anyway, I think it's awesome. So I renewed it every year, and that's recommended to do as well because, we're Catholic, and we do everything once a year, at least, right? But also, you can renew this daily through a short-term form of the prayer, and it's really just, I guess, to keep yourself under the gaze of Christ, to remember that you're there with his mother at the foot of his cross, belonging totally to him through her. So I guess to answer the question, why you would renew it. And then, how do I live it? I guess this is just a really personal and varied, way of living it depending on your vocation, but I was thinking about this a little bit for myself and what it means for my sanctity. And we talk about being martyrs of the third millennium, and so who knows if that, will actually be martyred or just chastised in a bar. But, many of us, I think, in this room have had the opportunity and a great privilege to travel to places where the saints have walked. So I've had that opportunity to be, where St. Therese has lived, or where St. Bernadette has lived, or where St. John Nepomuk lived, or where John Paul II grew up, or where St. Peter walked. And it kind of dawned on me that, I'm in the same places that these people live, and not many of them live very long. And so I should probably realize that I'm able to be a saint now. I don't need to wait till I'm 55. And so really the consecration just really helps me to do that. To remain under the gaze of Christ and to remain with his mother in everything I do. So when I'm changing diapers, or I'm doing all the awesome, pretty, and glorious things that domestic life requires, it's all for him because it's all through her. And I guess I just want to speak briefly to our modern culture. And it's really just, people have different opinions, but it seems to be really crumbling out from beneath us. And some people are afraid of that, and some people are not afraid of that. And I happen to not be afraid of that because I know that, for myself and for my children, whatever may come, I know that I belong entirely to Mary. I belong entirely to her Son. And so, whatever may come, I'm in her mantle. So I guess I don't need to be afraid. My mother's taught me. I know my kids, they just feel so safe in my arms. Our little Bruno, he's 2. He freaks out during thunderstorms. So lately he's been freaking out a lot. But when he's in my arms, he's calm. But if I let him down, he's not. So I think of myself in the arms of our mother. I've chosen her, and she's chosen me. And so whatever may come, I'm not afraid. I'm face with confidence. And MFN just really helps with that because it's a hub, a place to go deeper, a place to plug into a culture of young adults who want what you want, who want to go deeper, who want to answer the cry of Christ, from the cross. And so I want to take just a second before wrapping up to invite you to a few things. I want to invite you to take the card that we brought. It's just the MFN website. So take that home and visit our site. And I invite you also to join our mailing list and our Facebook pages. There are things constantly being posted up that are, encouraging and uplifting to us as Catholics in the modern world and saints of the third millennium. There are also, I guess, what makes me want to speak of this urgently is this summer we're forming groups in parishes. So this will be our first actual MFN, in the flesh manifestation. And we're going to be, starting on August 6th, we're going to be starting the preparation for total consecration made on September 8th, the feast of Our Lady's birth. And so people from all around the country are members of, all around the world actually, from Brazil to Canada, France, US, are members of the Marian Faith Network. And so we're going to be forming these groups, preparing together. Some people are asking their parish priest to give them formation weekly during the preparation time. But on the 8th, we're going to do a live webcast where Father Nathan, just kind of as a crown to this consecration, is going to offer us some formation in a bit of a retreat there online. So I think only 500 people can tune into this, so you might want to log in early if you're thinking of coming. But not till September, but I just want to get the word out early and ask you to join us in the Marian Faith Network. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say, Anne. He tells me I talk too fast. It's probably true. But I know Anne wants to speak a little bit, so I really want to hand the mic over and thank you so much for having me up here to speak in my unqualified experience. So yeah, I'm going to stick around for questions. I think that's the segment here at Theology on Tap. So yeah, God bless you guys.